Hi, my name is Lionel Bisschoff, CEO of the Lean Academy and a few other companies. I'd like to tell you about the constant revolution and have a little bit of a look forward to the year 2015. Let's go! So, how did humanity get here to where we are now? How did we manage to capture more energy, organize ourselves better, apply information technology and our ability to wage war and dominate each other, get to us to where we are today? And how did we beat the five horsemen of the apocalypse, the migration, state failure, famine, disease, and climate change? If you want to know more about that, go to Ian Morris's book, Why the West Rules, for now. Great book. And we've got a graph here from his book, which he plotted basically humanity's development based upon those four factors of organization, information, ability to wage war, and energy capture. And what we see is basically over the last 14,000 years, not much happened, but in the last sort of 200 years, all hell broke loose. And our ability to organize and manage information has just gone absolutely through the roof and to produce. And it's very difficult to see actually what happened. But if he plots it also on a logarithmic scale, where one can see that in the last sort of 1,000 years, a couple of times civilizations actually fell. So agrarian economies, they were not able to go above a certain level in terms of being able to organize themselves, manage the information between all the people involved and capture enough energy to make the whole system work. And we sort of fell apart a few times. But we got through this, and how did that basically happen? Well, Gutenberg, printing press, the ability to manage and exchange information increased tremendously. And that led to the creation or the development of the scientific method. Experimentation, data, findings, hypotheses, going in a continuous circle, virtuous circle of improvement, basically. And cushioned, this happened in Europe. And Europe discovered the New World and exploited the New World in Africa. And that gave a cushion in terms of resources, labor, etc., so that more of information can be spread and more of the scientific method can be applied towards moving from muscle energy to being able to exploit fossil fuels, steam, electricity, etc., and changing ourselves from a feudal society through Adam Smith's Wealth of Nations division of labor and mercantilism towards democracy in countries where we are now. So what are the major organizing principles of the world? We're all based in countries run by governments, and those governments have institutions and laws. And we have private corporations which adhere to those laws run by countries and governments, where citizens can come together and create value for others in society. And how do we keep this all together? What's the glue? The glue is the financial services industry. The concept money. They manage this concept of money for us. But money has got nothing to do with the notes and coins you have in your wallet. Think of money as a global scoring system. It enables division of labor, so someone can have a job that they must hit holes in roads or something, make a hole for a building to be created. That's all they do. They make holes all day long. How do we know if that person should get a lot of slack from society or not? Well, we have a scoring system. The company, together with a bank and so on, ensures that they get a certain number of points by the end of the month. And they can go around and use those points with other people in society to get stuff. Food, housing, education for their children. So corporations, together with the financial industry, has created this global scoring system, enabling all of us to do all sorts of stuff and being able to exchange the points that we get in return for doing whatever we're doing for others, and being able to look after ourselves using that. And of course, credit enables strangers to get together and build assets that last over a long term, and that again is managed for us by the financial services industry. The only bummer is they sort of charge interest on the credit they create from nowhere. The money, the scoring points created from nowhere to represent value, they charge interest on that. Not such a nice thing, really. So, what happens next? Well, the printing press, the books that have served us so long, goodbye. Won't be seeing you around for much longer. We have much nicer devices now which are electronic, and they don't just have static type They have pictures and images and video. It's amazing, and they can show anything from anywhere. They can access information, unlimited amounts of information from anywhere. And not only that, there's chaps like Google and a few others which are organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. So great devices to display any type of information. And not in that, the information has been indexed and made searchable. So all of human knowledge accessible anywhere. That's pretty cool. The cost of communication is approaching zero. The cost of access and dissemination of knowledge is becoming zero. The cost of transactions between entities is approaching zero. And the cost of organization is approaching zero. Well, almost, but interesting things are happening. Look at Wikipedia, Linux, ways of organizing ourselves which are totally new and extremely efficient. So is the world going to go nuts? Sort of. We're going to be in a state of constant revolution. Not evolution, revolution. Welcome to that vertical axis we saw up there at the back of that graph of Ian Morris. It's a crazy world, and it's going to get crazier. How crazy? Well, let's see what might happen. Hey, teacher, leave those kids alone. 2011, the Khan Academy, what have they achieved so far? They've got 2,700 educational videos, self-paced learning, knowledge maps and help guides, parent-teacher progress monitoring. Check it out. What can you learn there? Well, you learn about heart disease, about probability theory, using playing cards, human evolution, quantitative easing, differential equations, whatever. All these subjects there. Go and learn something. It's great stuff. They've delivered 85, almost 86 million lessons already. Now let's say during 2012 they really get going and they cover the whole US school curriculum. Their content is translated by volunteers all around the world into 15 languages. And they launch an open platform for allowing folks to create country-specific content that will be added into the Khan Academy and moderated by them. Wikipedia applied to education. Think about it. What might happen next? Well, 2013, 500 US schools say we're going to adopt the Khan Academy. That's fantastic. 10 countries around the world have their entire school curriculum covered. And in 2014, all US, Canadian, Dutch, Belgian schools adopt the Khan Academy. The Khan Academy now covers all major languages for all content, and 30 countries have their entire school curriculum covered. 2015, the Khan Academy launches a global certification body up to master's degree level accepted by the Global 500. And at this point in time, we realize, who needs a government school? Why would I want to have a government school? My children can learn anything, anytime, anywhere, and adults, at their own pace. Who needs a school year? If you want to finish at 15, finish at 15. Get your master's degree at 15 if you'd like. Doesn't matter. It's all certified by the Khan Academy. Who needs Harvard? So what happens? 10 million teachers go on strike globally because we've destroyed an industry that has remained relatively static for more than 100 years. We've destroyed it in 4 years' time. Welcome to constant revolution. Who needs a greenback? In 2012, it's projected that Google, Amazon, Facebook, Walmart, and Apple will have $1 trillion of joint cash reserves. $1 trillion just sitting there saying, use me, do stuff, And these people actually are pretty cool and clever. They can do interesting stuff. Only 15 countries around the world have a GDP greater than $1 trillion. This is scary amounts of money that are sitting in the pockets of extremely smart people. And what game are they playing in? They're playing the game of information, communication, transactions, and organization. So if your company that you're sitting in is involved with information, or communication, or transactions, or organization of humanity, well, be scared. Be very scared. These guys are coming for you. In 2012, Google, Amazon, and Facebook, they launched mobile payment solutions. They They screw the banking industry, basically. There's no Visa, MasterCard, or bank charges. You can transfer the value between devices anywhere across the world based upon real-time exchange rates. And any transfer amount, doesn't matter what it is, between any currencies, is going to cost you 10 cents. No more, ever. So the banking industry, hello, wake up. 2013, they are still frustrated by exchange rates and banking industries, and their suppliers and customers are, not able to circumvent these banks and these governments and their currencies so well. So what do? So they launch redeemable coupons together, and they spend millions on their marketing departments and strategies, and they come up with a name called Amagools. Maybe not so great, but anyway, customers and suppliers of these organizations use them, and these are enormous organizations. So that's millions of customers and suppliers, and these coupons, these Amagools, are exchangeable against all major world currencies, and they're backed by $200 billion in cash, which is more than the Federal Reserve. Julius Malema from South Africa counters by launching Amajuju. Amajuju does not take off. In 2014, Amagools is an amazing success. We're accepted in most online stores in bricks and mortar industries, and almost $1 trillion in global transaction volumes. 2015, who needs a greenback? Amagools has now got $4 trillion in transaction volumes, and Zimbabwe is a year and 35 other countries adopt Amagools as their national currencies. China says Amagools declared global reserve currency. My town is my country. In 2012, the Occupy Wall Street movement signs its 100 millionth signatory. People realize that money and corporations can move, but not so much us. So South African prospects, not so great. Capital, I'm out of here. Corporations, I'm out of here. But you and me, we're still stuck here because we have family and friends. We like our local football teams, and we've got culture. We're humans. We stick together, we make a life for ourselves, we build a house which we love and decorate. Okay, we make our pub look cool. We don't want to move everywhere. So that's why credit unions grow massively in 2012 and the banking industry takes a serious knock. But hey, we're just getting started. Because in 2013, a global cooperative platform, software as a service, launches. It's free, and they've taken the Rochdale principles combined with the Mondragon principles, and you can now create a cooperative easily and manage it easily. Membership, voting, transparent financial management, so anyone can see any transaction that occurred, the bank statements, every supplier, everything. Surplus distribution, what does management get paid with compared to workers, and it's all managed jointly by all the members of the cooperative, who are all joint shareholders. Okay, the creation of credit in society, etc. And guess what? They all use those mobile non-bank payment mechanisms. Hello, banking industry. The unbanked realize that that's just exactly what they want to be, unbanked. And they'll just use cooperatives between themselves, run on their mobile phones with their mobile banking solution or non-bank solution, payment solution, exchange solution. So bye-bye banks. In 2014, the global cooperative platform adopts Amagools. Something odd happens. The city of Vancouver realizes that it can be more effective structured as a cooperative. So every resident of Vancouver is now a shareholder in Vancouver, and they use the global cooperative platform. So every resident of Vancouver can see every transaction, every financial transaction, the salaries of all the municipal workers, everyone that is working for society in Vancouver. Well, you're going to be totally visible, and we all jointly make decisions. Surplus money distribution, it's all managed by the cooperative. Surprisingly, in South Africa, Nelspruit follows suit. And in 2015, these towns, cities, Vancouver, Nelspruit, Munich, they realize that their schools are not run by their government anymore. They've adopted Khan Academy. They use Amagools, so they've got nothing to do with their country's national currency anymore. They declare independence because they don't quite understand what these government structures have to do with them. And the same thing starts happening all around the world. City-states declaring independence from their governments. My town is my country. So how will individuals, countries and governments, corporations and the financial industry cope, survive and thrive in this era of constant revolution? By applying the principles and values and techniques of Lean. We need lean organizations, lean financial services, lean government, and a lean society. We need to turn the world on its head. Go to the Lean Academy. We'll show you how.